Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you every single planner that I've used in 2020. I would imagine that these are the only planners that I'll use in 2020, but there's still 6 weeks left of the year. I might get bored and buy a new planner, who knows, but hopefully this is everything for 2020. We will start obviously with Hobonichi. It's the main brand that I use. This you will have seen if you saw my last video. This is the Cousin in a Moterm cover. Absolutely love this planner. I've had a Cousin now for I think 3 years running. I will be in one next year and probably the year after that. It's a pure planner piece. I do all of my planning in here. It's got so much space. I can use it for projects, I can use it for goal planning, I can use it for journaling. Everything is in here. Basically, this is my life. I then have 2 weeks, the Penguin, though you'd never know because once you put it in a cover you can't actually see it, and then the Tokyo Tower. I wasn't planning to buy 2 for this year, but I couldn't decide between the Penguin and the Tokyo Tower, and so I bought both with the intention to sell one, and then decided that I could use this as a kind of meal and shopping list planner. Really basic, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then I create a shopping list on the back of it. Completely kind of a ridiculous use for this, but I didn't want to say goodbye to it. So yes, it's been great for me in 2020, but I will not be carrying it on in 2021. And in 2021 I do only have 1 week's, which will be going in this cover, and will be my health and fitness planner again. So this is how I'm currently using it now. Perfect layout for this, for tracking calories, water intake, exercise, weight, meal planning, anything to do with health, and then my skincare. Amazing how much you can fit in such a little planner. I do also have sections in the back for my budget planning and spending, weight tracking, and happy meal tracking, because it's very easy, particularly if you're placing multiple orders, particularly around Christmas, to forget what you're waiting for. So I just have a section in there for everything. It works really well, and it means that the notes pages do get used rather than going to waste, which would be a shame considering the beautiful paper. Last up for Hobonichi is the avec A6 size. This was to replace another week's that I had in 2019 that I used as my everyday carry. It lived in the Anne pouch, so this is my purse, but because it's so huge it fits my life basically. It's got the replacement for my purse, it's got all my banking stuff and cards, it's got things like toiletries, tablets, even makeup, cables, power bank, and then a planner. Just fits really nicely in here too, and it still zips up. I found that this was a bit too much for what I really needed in terms of size. The avec was a bit thick really. I wasn't using it to its full capability. So for 2021 I'm going to use just the A6 weekly supplement. Very small in comparison, but perfect for what I need, which is just somewhere to jot down my appointments so that when I'm out and about I don't double book myself. Obviously in 2020 I've not been out and about that much, so there's another reason why this hasn't really been worth it for me this year. In terms of filofax, probably the second biggest kind of planning brand that I use. I've used filofax now for years. I've got quite a collection of them. The original is my favourite design. It's just, I like the leather, I like the fact that it lays flat. A lot of people don't like it because of the lack of pockets, but I'm not big on making my planners look pretty in that way, so this works perfectly for me. This is what I started the year in. I'd had it for a couple of years. You'd never know, it still looks like new. That's the beauty of a filofax really. They don't wear and tear like some, I guess, cheaper brands. And I absolutely love this until I found this on offer. John Lewis were price matching Amazon. I'd always wanted a Malden, I wanted to try it. I couldn't resist. So everything that was in here is now in here, which is basically, it's not day-to-day planning, it's more of a reference with a little bit of planning really. As you can see, I've got kind of a monthly setup with just some goals and tasks and things like that. I've got some financial tracking, I've got kind of addresses and things in here, notes about work, and then just some reference notes about the shop. So cut settings, supplier details, I've got stats tracking going back a couple of years now, and then a whole section on projects and just long-term things I want to look at for both the shop and personal life. So for instance, I want to move in the next few months, so I've kind of got a list ongoing there of all the things that I need to prep, addresses that I need to change, all that boring stuff. Then have 2 A5 sizes. Again, the original. I wasn't kidding when I said how much I love this. This is my big reference binder. This has everything that I might need to reference at any point in time to do with my health, home, car, my pension, again, all the boring stuff. I made these dividers from a Sonic calendar that I got a few years ago because I absolutely love Sonic, and actually it goes, well, it probably clashes horrifically, but as it's blue, I was like, yeah, it's fine, it works. I made some pockets out of cardstock to keep any documents rather than hole punching them, and this just works really well for me, to be honest. I know where everything is, I know what to pick up if needed. Yeah, perfect. I then added this just because I was intrigued really about the domino. I'd never owned one. I saw this on offer. It was yellow. I'm in a bit of a yellow groove at the moment. So yeah, I thought I'd pick it up, and this is more as a shop reference binder, but more for kind of documentation rather than things like cut settings and stuff that's in the Malden. Receipts are in here, all of that kind of thing. It's probably underused, but I've not had it that long. But I knew I just needed a separate file away from the original A5 size, just purely for any kind of shop documentation. This is another planner style that doesn't have a huge amount of pockets, so if you do like lots of pockets, definitely stay away from the original and stay away from the domino, because that will not fulfill your pocket needs. But that is filofaxes. I'll never stop using filofaxes. I will always find a use for them because I love them so much. Always well made. They're just a little bit expensive, but then when you look at things like this, I've literally had this for years. It used to go to work with me at one point, and yet it still looks practically new. You just can't fault that kind of quality. Finally, not necessarily planners. These are notebooks, but I'm using them in various different ways to help planning. The first one is Nuna. I know I'm saying that wrong one of the ways. This is my bullet journal for work. As you can see, it's really beat up. I used to go to the office every day until I stopped going to the office every day. The paper in this is fantastic. It's got a really small dot grid. It's really thick, which I really need for work because I'm frequently flicking between pages to look at meeting notes, my to-do lists, things like that. So I need something that will kind of put up with the wear and tear really. It's got a huge amount of pages, 250. I think this has lasted me, or will last me, well over a year, which is amazing, just to have somewhere with every single note, every single thing to reference. Yeah, I love it. I'll definitely be buying a new one when this runs out, but I still have about another 50 pages, which is insane. But yeah, highly recommend this notebook, and not that expensive either. This is a Lectern, the official bullet journal. I am basically just using this up. I kind of go off and on with these in terms of whether I like them or not. The dot grid is massive in comparison now after I've been using Hobonichi, so I do feel like I'm not getting the most out of the pages because I just end up writing huge. It's not too bad. I guess I'm a bit fussier now that I've used things like the Hobonichi and the Salogy, but yeah, it's not my favourite notebook. I don't really bullet journal anymore. I don't think it suits my needs for work, so basically I'm just using this up as a bit of a scratch pad, and then I also use it for pre-planning. I have recently posted a blog post about pre-planning, what I do, why I do it, so I will drop a link down below if you're interested. But yeah, I just wanted to mention it really because I guess I do some planning in it, but it's just to use it up really. Finally, my Stylogy in B6. I heard everybody going on about the B6 and how great it was, and I had no use for it, but I thought, why not? I'll give it a try. Ordered one off Amazon Japan because that's where it was cheapest, and love it. The pages are thin, but they hold ink really well. I love that you can use these for daily pages. So you just kind of tick off what day of the week, month and date it is. I'm using this for the blog, social media and now YouTube. So I just have a page of post ideas. I plan out my month and then put in my social media plans, my blog plans, and then I now have a page for YouTube planning. I'll probably change this up to kind of incorporate where I write in my YouTube videos. It's a very simple setup, but I like keeping it separate. I used to have it in my cousin, and I just like having stuff like this separate, somewhere that's easy to pull out and write in. And yeah, it's a nice little planner. If the pages were thicker, I'd probably use it for work, but flicking between pages, I'd probably just rip it because I'm a really heavy-handed person. But yeah, that is every single planner that I have used in 2020. There's a lot. I'm hoping 2021 there won't be as many. Depends if I find a new brand that I decide to try. But yeah, that's been 2020 planners. I'd love to know how many you've used in 2020, so please let me know in the comments. And if you want any in-depth flip throughs of anything that I haven't already done, so I've already done the cousin, please let me know and I will get those filmed. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.